Hi everybody, welcome to our weekly training video. We'll be switching these to Tuesdays now for those of you who have been following us on Mondays. So this is our first Tuesday training video. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Follow Me game, which is really just a way to reinforce your dog moving with you and following you. But there are a few little details that can be especially helpful for fearful dogs, and so we're going to talk about how to use this little game today. So who is this for? This is for you if you've got a fearful dog who gets nervous if you are following them. And it can be difficult to get your dog maybe to go where you want them to go. Maybe you're getting ready to try to start walking your dog on leash. And it is important that your dog will eat treats from the floor or the ground when you are somewhat near them, maybe in the same room. So what is this? What is the Follow Me game? I'll show you some video in a second, but basically it's you walking ahead of your dog and dropping, placing, or occasionally, depending on the dog, handing treats behind you as you go. So you're continuing to move, your back is to your dog, which helps remove some kind of pressure from a lot of dogs who are get more worried if you're facing them or looking at them. Once your dog is regularly following you and eating up those treats, if you want, you can start to wait for them to actually start the following before you give them that first treat. And you can add a cue if you'd like, and it can be helpful to kind of let the dog know once they understand this game, hey, this is what we're doing right now. Gives them some predictability, they'll know what to expect. So why am I talking about this? Why is this helpful for fearful dogs? Well, many of our fearful dogs are more comfortable when your back is to them rather than facing them, and this gives them a way to move with you with your back toward them. Also, unless you're hand delivering treats, which for a small sort of portion of dogs does seem to be better or easier for them, but if you're placing the treats on the floor or dropping them and then continuing to move away, your dog can decide when you're far enough away for that so that they feel comfortable eating the treat. So they kind of set the criteria, set the difficulty for themselves. And how might you use this? Well, there are a lot of uses for those of us with pretty fearful dogs. One is getting a dog to go to a particular location, like a potty pad. You can, say, follow me, walk to the potty pad while leaving treats along in a trail behind you. And that can get them where you want them to go without sort of any pressure of you facing them or trying to touch them or lead them in a way that they find scary. You can use it just to increase a dog's movement around the house. Those of you who have dogs who spend most of their time in sort of a safe space in your house, they don't move around that much. This can be one way to get them moving a little bit, get them a little bit of physical activity, and maybe get them exploring the house a bit more. This is especially useful when you're starting to get a dog to go outside for the first time. And I'll show you a video example of that from one of our wonderful Confidence Builders Club members. And finally, for those of you who are a bit more advanced, those of you who are getting your dogs ready to go on leash walks, you do need to move together when you are walking with your dog on leash, and this is one way to get that started. All right, so let's take a look at just a little bit of video of the Follow Me game. So this is just what it looks like in terms of the basics. This is just me walking down the hallway, putting treats behind me as I go, and I just continue moving. And Pancake can follow at whatever pace he feels comfortable. Now at this point, following me is probably one of his favorite activities, so he's not really afraid to follow me. But this is still, just shows you the basic mechanics. Here's one of our Confidence Builders Club members doing a nice job just dropping treats as she moves in front of her dog. And here she is leading her dog to those potty pads. So you see the dog was able to move at her own pace, and here she goes to the potty pads and uses them, which is what she was going for there. Here's another example I wanted to show. It's a little different. This is Turnip, one of our our clients who does a little bit better often taking treats from hand, and her mom is reinforcing her for following her and moving around the house in a direction that she is less likely to go most of the time, which is toward the kitchen. So you can see that this is a little bit different when you deliver by hand, and the dog has to be pretty close to you to take the treat. But if your dog is more comfortable with that treat delivery option, then that might be the way to go. And here's Sky again, later on in her training as she's getting ready to start going outside. So her mom walked in front of her, dropped treats behind her, and then here is continuing to add treats out the door and onto the deck, and there goes Sky outside. And the last use I mentioned was Follow Me on Leash. This is an old video, I'm sorry it's a little grainy, of Pancake when he was first learning to move with me with the leash on. He's just dragging the leash here, and I'm just walking slowly, pausing to put a treat by my feet, and then continuing to move away from him so he can follow at his own pace. All right, so just in summary, some uses of this Follow Me game, this basically follow a trail of treats behind me as I move away from you, is to get the dog to walk to a particular location, which could be a door to outdoors, it could be potty pads, it could be their safe zone. You can use the Follow Me game to get your dog moving around the house a bit more, to get your dog to go outside, and eventually, once your dog is more advanced, to move with you when you're walking on leash. All right, everyone, I hope this helps. If you give this a try, I'd love to hear about it. You can comment below where you're watching this video, or shoot us a message or email. If you would like to be on our list, our email list, to get weekly updates about what's going on with us, what new content we have, new classes, deals, things like that, go to dogkindtraining.com/newsletter, put in your information there, and then you will get weekly updates. All right, have a lovely week, and I will see you next week.